The Los Angeles homelessness crisis, a city at a crossroads. Los Angeles County, a region synonymous with glamour and opportunity, is also home to the most severe homelessness crisis in the United States. Every night, nearly 50,000 people sleep unsheltered on its streets, making it the epicenter of a national tragedy. While recent data shows a modest decline from record peaks, the crisis remains acute, complex, and politically charged. After a decade of relentless increases, the number of unhoused Angelenos has fallen for 2 consecutive years, a development that Mayor Karen Bass has hailed as a historic break from the past. This progress, however, is fragile, and the debate over the best path forward, whether to build more interim housing, prioritize permanent solutions, or implement governance reforms, has become the central fight in Los Angeles politics. The scale and scope of the crisis. The data paints a stark picture of both the problem and the challenges of solving it. According to the Los Angeles Homeless Services Authority, LAHSA, the point-in-time count for the Los Angeles continuum of care, which excludes a few independent cities, peaked at 71,320 in 2023 before falling to 67,777 in 2025. While this 5% drop is a positive sign, the number of homeless individuals remains staggeringly high, enough to fill Dodger Stadium and still leave nearly 12,000 people outside. Sources indicate that the 2026 count may show an increase of roughly 3.5%, bringing the city's homeless population back near 2024 levels, highlighting how tenuous the recent progress is. A critical feature of the crisis in Los Angeles is the high rate of unsheltered homelessness. Unlike cities such as New York, where a majority of homeless individuals live in shelters, Los Angeles has long struggled to provide enough indoor spaces. In 2025, an estimated 44,415 people were living on the streets, in tents, or in vehicles, places not meant for human habitation. This vulnerability is deadly. On average, roughly 7 unhoused Angelenos die on the streets each day. A 2025 report from the RAND Corporation found that while the total unsheltered population in neighborhoods like Hollywood, Skid Row, and Venice remained flat, rough sleeping without any form of shelter like a tent or vehicle, had reached a 4-year high, rising by 20%. This suggests that some policies, such as encampment clearings, may be displacing people rather than solving their homelessness, pushing them from tents to the bare pavement. The demographic profile of the unhoused population reveals deep inequities. Black Angelenos are disproportionately affected, comprising 32% of the homeless population, while only 7% of the county's general population. The crisis among Hispanic and Latino residents, historically underrepresented, has surged by 32% since the COVID-19 pandemic, a trend consistent with national patterns. Furthermore, the face of homelessness is aging. The share of unhoused individuals aged 62 and older rose from 10% in 2020 to 14% in 2024, with older adults more likely to be unsheltered and therefore more vulnerable. A crisis defined by numbers. For years, homelessness in Los Angeles rose at an alarming rate, growing by an average of 8% per year between 2016 and 2024. In the Los Angeles continuum of care, The homeless population surged from approximately 41,000 in 2015 to a peak of over 71,000 in 2023. A major driver of this increase was the unsheltered population, which reached an estimated 52,307 in 2023, an 81% increase from 2015 levels. However, recent data has provided a glimmer of hope. The 2025 homeless count showed a 5% decrease from the 2023 peak, marking the first significant drop in years. The unsheltered population fell by nearly 8,000 people to approximately 44,415, driven largely by increased shelter capacity and encampment resolution efforts. This progress followed 2 consecutive years of reductions in street homelessness, a historic first for the city. Yet this progress is fragile. Multiple sources familiar with the 2026 point-in-time count have indicated that homelessness is expected to rise approximately 3.5%, potentially returning to 2024 levels. More troubling, the number of people sleeping completely unsheltered, without a tent, vehicle, or other shelter, may have increased by as much as 9%. This pattern is consistent with RAND research, which found that while overall homelessness in 3 key neighborhoods declined 15% in 2024, rough sleeping reached a 4-year high. The changing face of unsheltered homelessness. The demographic profile of Los Angeles's unhoused population reveals deep inequities. Black Angelenos are dramatically overrepresented, comprising 32% of the homeless population despite representing only 7% of the county's population. The Hispanic/Latino population experienced a 32% increase in homelessness following the COVID-19 pandemic, though they remain slightly underrepresented relative to their share of the county population. Men and boys account for 65% of the unhoused population, with women more likely to be found in emergency shelters. The aging of the homeless population is another significant trend. The share of unhoused individuals aged 62 and older rose from 10% in 2020 to 14% in 2024. Adults over 55 are substantially more likely to be unsheltered than sheltered, reflecting the intersection of fixed incomes, rising housing costs, and age-related vulnerability. According to research from the UCSF Benioff Homelessness and Housing Initiative, domestic violence is a major driver of homelessness for women, with 44% of unhoused women citing it as the primary cause. This underscores the need for targeted interventions that address the multiple pathways into homelessness. A crisis of housing affordability. Underlying all of these efforts is the fundamental driver of homelessness, the lack of affordable housing. As Margot Kuschel, director of the UCSF Benioff Homelessness and Housing Initiative, has emphasized, the root cause comes back to just housing. It is right there in the name. To be homeless is to not have a home. With California making up 30% of the nation's unhoused population and housing costs out of reach for many residents, permanent solutions must address the structural barriers that push people into homelessness.